Even as Border Security Force troops intensify their vigil along the 856-kilometer-long international border with Bangladesh, stopping cross-border infiltration remains a herculean task in Tripura. Amidst rising tensions along India's western frontier post the Pahalgam terror attack and political unrest in neighbouring Bangladesh, Tripura's porous stretches continue to serve as illegal gateways for Bangladeshi nationals and Rohingya refugees to penetrate deep into the Indian mainland. Despite near constant surveillance and a professed commitment towards achieving zero infiltration, human trafficking networks continue to thrive. Regular arrests across Tripura underscore how cross-border movement is occurring almost daily. Tripura's unique geography only compounds the issue. Nearly 98% of its 856-kilometer border with Bangladesh that surrounds the state from three sides is fenced, but most of these barbed wire structures, erected over a decade ago, seem to be succumbing to wear and tear. Prolonged monsoon seasons lasting nearly 7 months a year, combined with dense vegetation and unchecked weed growth, have rendered large portions of the fencing rusted. Moreover, in stark contrast to India's western frontier, several habitations in Tripura lie dangerously close to the border. In some cases, villages even exist beyond the fencing, separated from Indian territory by a mere 150 yards from the zero-point demarcation pillars. These close proximities make it easier for smugglers and traffickers to exploit gaps, blending in with civilians during cross-border transits. The biggest challenge is that the terrain favors the infiltrators, with villages practically touching the fence and dense vegetation offering cover. It's an ongoing battle. Apart from these geographical challenges, a small segment of the bordering population is believed to be complicit in illegal activities, including human trafficking and smuggling, further complicating the BSF's efforts. With the volatile situation in neighbouring Bangladesh and the looming threat from western borders, the stakes have never been higher. The state and central governments, in coordination with security agencies, must now reassess ground realities and devise strategic responses to plug these vulnerabilities. The implications of infiltration go beyond demographic changes and fiscal strain on the exchequer. Unchecked infiltration poses a direct threat to national security. Even as BSF, other security agencies and intelligence units operate in tandem to thwart illegal entry, the persistent arrests of infiltrators only highlight how steep the challenge truly is.
I am in a bordering village of Tripura, and you can see the houses just behind me. And few years from this is the barbed wire fencing that has come up in Tripura, which is more than 1.5 decades old. See the condition of the fencing. It is quite old, and some of the barbed wire are so rusted and in poor condition. Taking advantage of it, often infiltrators enter into Tripura. BSF has intensified its vigil across Tripura, with the western frontier getting disturbed. The atmosphere in Bangladesh is also not that congenial. BSF and other security forces are now maintaining round-the-clock vigil and also intensified their vigil across the 856-kilometer border. But infiltration is a problem, and often using Tripura, the infiltrators from Bangladesh, particularly the Rohingyas, also enter and goes to mainland India, and they are a threat. How this border can be well managed, the security forces are always in a meeting and a worry for them. But infiltration still remains a problem. With camera person Bishwajit De, Pinaki Das for Northeast Live from a bordering village in Tripura.
And to tell us more on this, my colleague Pinaki Das joins us live at this point in time. Pinaki, so, while most of the international border is fenced, there seems to be multiple challenges plaguing the fight against influx. So can you list the top 3 challenges or issues that require immediate attention and immediate addressal?
Well, Ronak, one of the concern in the bordering village is the border fencing that has come up. It is quite old, and keeping in view that Tripura has a rainy season for more than 7-8 months, and with the vegetation, this become impossible for keeping vigilances. The visibility also goes down with the weeds and other creepers in that area, and the fencing is quite old, it is rusted, that need to be changed, or whatever step the central government thinks about it. Another is the proximity of the village, very close to the border. Even some of the villages are on the other side of the fencing. Those need to be brought inside, so that BSF can keep better vigil, particularly during night hours. If particularly now the strategy that the infiltrators or the drug peddler, those all are involved in one or other trade, they use some strategy so that during the night hours they can bring the infiltrators in. And being the villagers very close with the language, dress and everything, it's become very tough to understand who is a Bangladeshi or who is an Indian in this part particularly of Tripura, particularly I am talking. Another which I did not mention is the patronage or the vote politics, I should rather say, due to which a lot of infiltrators get easy access to various Indian identity cards, be it the voter ID card or the Aadhaar, and in which a racket is also involved, including some political patronage also, very unfortunate. This should also be looked into. So these are the three things I think is which need very strict action against them, and already the government of India has started with the state government, the people, those who are the touts, particularly those who are involved in this human trafficking, cross-border human trafficking rackets. There is randomly we find they are being caught in by security agencies. So these are the three things I think those should also be looked into to bring infiltration to zero, which is a big threat for India's security concern.
And also, Pinaki, the state government, has the state government in fact apprised the MHA of the situation?
No, state government is very much aware of the situation, but the border the first defense is from the central government, that is the BSF. And the state have its own agency, and you will find randomly or on every alternative we find infiltrators caught at the railway station, the bus terminus and other places, particularly when they had already crossed the border and they are trying to use Tripura to go to other parts of India. They are caught even in neighboring Assam from Tripura while going they are caught. So what I would say is that how many of them had already crossed or are crossing, we don't know. We only know about those who are apprehended, are caught. So many others may have or had already crossed and gone to other parts where now we find a lot of Rohingyas and Bangladeshis in big cities, particularly when there are raids. Even in Jammu Kashmir we saw that Rohingyas from here they had gone there. So you can understand how big or the concern of security, because a racket is there across the not only India is there, also tie up with Bangladesh. Those for money are bringing infiltrators and often they are going to the mainland India and other big cities where they work for cheap labor as well. The threat is that they may be used for some anti-India activity, because for easy money they may get involved in such criminal activities also.
All right, Pinaki Das, thank you very much for all those details, and do keep us updated on any further developments.